everything we do in the world, or most things we do in the world, are all connected through our lower body. You know, we're walking around on our feet, it's attached to our lower body. Our lower body is our point of contact for the world. So we want to make sure that we're strong and flexible and mobile. We're going to go through this again. I'm going to do some squats and I'm going to do some deadlifts. I want you guys to identify which is which, okay? Quiz time. Sorry, I'm done. Okay, you tell me which one is which, okay? Looks like I'm driving down through the ground, which is a clue. Okay, what were those? Now I'm gonna do the other one. I'm hinging at the hip. Which one is that? Notice my core is engaged no matter which one I'm doing. My core is engaged, my back is nice and flat, right? Okay. Can you tell which one was which? Good job. I think good job. I don't know, I didn't really hear you. This is a video, by the way. You did it. Okay, good job. Probably. Now I'm gonna go through both squats and deadlifts, so you can try to identify the difference and mix them up. Okay, so we're gonna mix up squats and deadlifts. I also want you to see that as I mix these two together, that movement doesn't have to be just one thing. In fact, when we're talking about functional movement, a lot of times what we're talking about is multiple muscle systems working together to create movement. So realistically, whether we're talking about squats or deadlifts, all we're really talking about is how are we lowering ourselves down to the ground and back up. Understand the movement and the way your body is supposed to move so you don't hurt yourself. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. That's the whole point. If you can walk away from this video with a deeper and more effective and functional understanding of how your body is supposed to move, we'll consider this a success. Modern fitness industry, in my opinion, tends to teach strategies and behaviors that don't necessarily lead to independence for the client. These tools do. I teach these this way for a reason, because I don't believe that you need me in order to be able to do this stuff. I also don't feel like you need me in order to do this stuff repeatedly in a way that gets you the benefits. And I believe that you guys can do that while staying safe, as long as we don't overcomplicate with and overexert with, excess weight or, poor movement, poor technique. Simple, direct, repetitious, meaning that we repeat these behaviors over and over again. And that is ultimately where some of those more conventional results come from, like losing body fat, gaining muscle. Those really come from nutrition. But we fuel that nutrition with the body movements one way or another, and obviously that will affect the aesthetic of the individual. Not that that matters. Okay. In this context. We're gonna go through squats and deadlifts. You tell me what's what. I say that one was a little fast, so I'm gonna slow it down. And now it's much harder than it was when I just did it fast like that. Okay. Slow and controlled. I'm speeding up a little bit here, but make sure you stay slow. I'm doing wonky things with my knees, but I'm gonna find some wonky stuff I did on camera. We'll find out later. Okay. I didn't really mix them up that much. So if you're sitting there and be like, you didn't even mix them up, then you're right. You know what you're doing. I did squats and I did deadlifts. That's what I got in me. RDLs, or Romanian deadlifts, are the version that basically what it does is it takes out kind of the top part and the bottom part of that movement of the conventional deadlift, meaning that what you're left with is really just this kind of middle part of the movement where all the focus is on the hamstrings and the glutes. So you don't have to do quite so much. And you can see you can work your hamstrings and your glutes without doing the whole thing. Okay, so these are, again, RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. This is arguably the better place, almost not even arguably, this is in a lot of ways the better place to learn how to do deadlifts without the full conventional range of motion movement, where you're just kind of doing that middle third. This is simpler. This gets the job done. A lot of people will just do Romanian deadlifts, RDLs, their whole lives. That's great. That's fine. Don't feel like you need to do the conventional deadlifts. I like to practice them and I like to teach them because you get a fuller range of motion and therefore fuller benefit from both the active stretch and also from a stability, function, safety standpoint as well. Assuming that, again, your body is capable and that works for you. And if you're learning and you find it hard to figure out the conventional deadlift, just do these for now and focus on how it feels in the hamstrings and how it feels in the glutes. Most of the hamstrings though. Well, I don't know, actually that's not true. It could be either. I tend to feel it in the hamstrings, but you might feel it in the glutes. Okay, now, if you are interested in lifting weights, grab a couple weights, make sure your shoulder blades are back, core is engaged, back nice and flat. And don't lift too heavy. Make sure you're lifting the appropriate amount. That's for my more advanced folks. If you're learning, don't worry about weight yet, okay? Okay, we're gonna move on. You'll notice that my feet were pretty wide for that. Your feet don't need to be. Again, about shoulder width is the appropriate distance. A little bit outside the shoulders, a little bit inside the shoulders, both are fine, and actually probably good practice to do. But make sure that you're not so wide that it feels wonky or you feel like your knees are not supported, right? If you're feeling like it's a little not stable or it feels like it's a little wonky in your knees, bring your feet a little closer together, bring them parallel, and then you can do the same thing, lift that butt, and then come up, okay? And then now notice I'm doing the same thing as I come down. I'm coming down, I'm hinging at the hips, and then lowering my butt, okay? Now this is a conventional deadlift.